Good morning. You're listening to Caregiver Crossing, a podcast brought to you by Joyous House, presented in partnership with Cardon and Associates. We are really happy that you're here. You're in for a special treat today, and you don't even know it yet. Caregiver Crossing is a podcast that was created just for you, the caregiver. I'm Tina McIntosh.
I'm Terri Stacy.
So, Terri, because we didn't do so well the last time we talked about meditation and imagery and all those things, Joy, our producer, is making us get into these relaxation techniques. You know why?
Okay. All right. I agree.
Because we have improvement to make. We have a lot of improvement to make. But guided imagery is what we're going to focus on today. And it is a relaxation technique that draws on your ability to visualize and daydream. This is like a school child's dream of like, I can not pay attention and go into my own world. And it's really easy to practice whenever and wherever you are. All you have to do is imagine a peaceful scene in your mind. And it works best if you incorporate as many sensory details as possible. So what you see, what you hear, what you feel, smell, and taste. So you're not just thinking about it, you're living it. When you engage your imagination this way, your body and your nervous system will respond as if you're actually there. I'm going to say that again. When you engage your imagination in this way, your body and your nervous system will respond as if you're actually there. It's a technique that's been proven to reduce anxiety, pain, and depression symptoms, and it also aids with sleep.
I'm following you.
Are you sure?
I'm following right along. I am. Guided imagery meditation. It can be either self-guided or guided by a narrator. And that narrator, I hope, would be your voice, because I enjoy listening to your voice. You almost lulled me to sleep in just the way you were speaking. I was listening. I was following. I was there. I was out of field wearing a gauze top.
Yeah. Thank you, so everyone. Let's thank Terri for that image of her in a gauze top in a field somewhere. So there are lots of free narrations on YouTube. Here's the only problem I have with YouTube is if you don't have a subscription and whatever, a lot of times you're interrupted by an ad, and that can be really disappointing. And when you're in a guided meditation, there are also paid apps like Calm and Headspace. They're really great and offer these libraries of high quality meditations for sleep and relaxation. But I want to hear from you, Terri. Do you ever use this technique?
I have tried to use this technique. I really have. I've tried to use this technique. I've gone different directions. As far as I have actually heard, for example, I wanted to hear scriptures in an amazing, what I would think of as a godlike voice to help me and calm me. I've tried these. Some people have said to me, I've even tried hypnosis at times, and they've said, you got to be there.
That's a whole different show.
You've got to want it. You're right. But I mean, even the self-guided stuff, they say you've got to have your mind open and ready for it. So I need an app that will help me get ready for the app that
you need a pre-app
that I can listen to meditate.
Okay, so
there's how I'm going to make my millions.
I've used it a lot. And let me tell you where I've probably been the most successful, I guess, is I've had to, over the course of the last 10 years, do a lot of MRIs. If you've ever been in an MRI, it sounds something like this. Gang, 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 rah, rah, rah. Like it sounds like someone is hammering on the outside of this machine. It's very unsettling. And so for me, I've had to do it on my chest because of breast cancer, or I have a brain tumor. I've had to do it on my brain. It is not relaxing at all. It's very unsettling. What I have done is I have allowed myself to, we have a little old Jeep. It was my father-in-law's, and it's a stick shift. And I love that. There's something I really like about a stick shift. When I get in the MRI machine, I picture myself in the Jeep and I drive. And depending on how long the test is going to be, if it's 15 minutes, in my head, I drive from my home to some place that's 15 minutes away. And I stop at stoplights, I downshift, I hear the sounds around me. Like I literally just get in and drive in my Jeep. And it's the best thing that I can do to calm myself.
That's awesome that you can do that.
I've also done it, to relax
That's
It really is,
fantastic.
and there have been times I've almost fallen asleep. Well, I have fallen asleep in the MRI machine, but there are tips that people give for self-guided imagery meditation, and they say probably an MRI machine is not the best place to start. You sit or you lie down in a quiet, comfortable place.
Yeah.
You kind of settle in. You close your eyes. You imagine a peaceful scene like a lush forest or a mountain range or a tropical beach, whatever is your thing that appeals to you, and then you think about, and this is key, think about all of the details in the scene. So again, use all of your five senses. So if you're, on a tropical beach, what do you smell as you're lying there? And how does the sand feel underneath you? And do you have a book in your hand? Or, like all of your senses for everything around you. And then you envision a path in your scene. So maybe you're walking down that path or you're doing some kind of a activity like you're walking, into the water, um, and just enjoying the sun that's on your back.
Lots of detail. I mean, as you said, yeah, all the detail. And that just takes you completely away from what you're hearing from the MRI machine or whatever. I wanna get there. I wanna do that. I want it to help my sleep. I want it to help when I'm feeling low. I want it to help ease pain. I want it.
Okay, so I think Joy, I know Joy, our producer, is listening because she's always listening. So, Joy, I think that we should do on one of these podcasts, we should do a guided imagery. And maybe we have Terry set the stage for us. And either I can come up with a guided imagery and kind of walk her through it and see if she can really do it. Would you be in, Terry?
I would do it. I really would.
Okay. All right. We'll try that. Because here's why, and I know you've got these in front of you too. There are a ton of benefits that have been scientifically proven. So, when people say, like, oh, well, that's just foo-fooey or that's just, fluffy and very hippie thing to do, it's actually scientifically proven. And so, Terry, can you list off at least a couple of these that help to, I don't know, reduce anxiety and stress?
That help anxiety and stress. Well, a study that was done in 2017 compared that stress relieving benefits of guided imagery and clinical massage. A clinical massage, how about that? A 2018 study also concluded that guided imagery may help decrease pre surgery anxiety. I would like it for going to the doctor anxiety, going to the dentist anxiety. I mean, think about all the things that this could benefit.
Oh, I
And
actually have something on that. Well, I do, because they say that, think about this, when somebody is riding in a car, passenger in a car, and they've fallen asleep and there's a car accident, they they suffer less injuries than somebody who was awake. Why? Because they're relaxed, their muscles
yep,
are relaxed, they didn't
yep.
clench up everything, right, and then have that impact. And the same thing happens for surgery. They have proven that if you get yourself in this relaxed state before you go into surgery, before you go under
Yeah.
the anesthesia, that you recover faster and better. And I know this because I've had 1,000 surgeries, and I always ask the anesthesiologist to allow me to, right before they put me under, I say, "Can you please let me know so I can pray, so I can go into a prayerful place." And
Before
it's
you fall
it's
asleep.
been great. So anyway, there's science
I
behind
think
that.
that's
There's also,
amazing.
it improves your sleep.
It
So
improves your sleep.
there was
There
a study, it's been years ago. Yeah, yeah. And it's not just how long you sleep, but there was a study done in 2015 that said if you practice this mindfulness before you go to sleep, it's going to improve your sleep quality, which we all need, sleep quality. So you talked about pain.
yes.
It can help to manage pain after, surgeries. Um, there's just so much to it that we really, really need to learn how to be better at
Including
this. So
depression.
depression's another
Yeah,
one,
including
Terry. Do you
depression.
have?
All of these studies, a 2014 review, depression often associated with negative mental images. However, positive images that are created through guided imagery may be able to change this. There's a 2019 study that's been cited. 1 week of daily guided imagery was associated with reduced depressive symptoms of in people with cancer. The participants also reported reduced pain and less anxiety. A 2018 study, similar results for depression and anxiety in people receiving hemodialysis. I just think there's something to it. And I really hope that you continue thinking about let's try it and teach me. I want to.
Okay, so this is your app before the app. So let's discuss. If you were to come up
Oh,
with,
good, good, good.
if you were to come up, Terry, with an image that calms you, what would that be like? And let me give you another example. A lot of times when I'm having anxiety or, I'm stressed about something, I will close my eyes and I will go back to the time. I have three children that I birthed, and that I'll go back to when I birthed those children and they were placed in my arms. I go back to my wedding day to my husband and walking over that Michigan dune and seeing him surrounded by all the people we love and hearing the waves in the background and seeing the sun off in the distance. So for me, those are my meditative moments that calm me. What would it be for
Yeah.
you?
Being first in line at Golden Corral in
I
the
believe
buffet
you.
line
I've met
and
you.
seeing all of the food, seeing all of the food and what's to come. Oh my goodness, I can have an endless amount of chicken legs. I mean, it truly is. The images of food have always relaxed me. It's a silly thing, but also, calming moments include sitting in my porch swing, just looking out at the creek and watching the sunset. Looking at farm fields as I drive down the road and on a beautiful evening and corn blowing in the wind, those kind of things. Again, as a farm kid, those are things that relax me and bring me those moments. So if you can help me really focus on those for a minute, then that might do me a world of good and make my shoulders stop hurting.
Yeah. All right. I think it would. So we are going to try that. We're going to
Okay.
write up a meditative script, and I'm
And
going
for
to walk
everybody
you through
listening, we can
that
all do it
sometime very
together,
soon.
right?
So
Yeah.
we're going to make that happen. Until then, if you are listening and you're like, I have something that would be good to meditate to or to, think about, send that to me in an email. I'd just be curious to, I mean, like hearing you say that about Golden Corral, like, I'm like, yep, I've met you, Terry. I giggle inside, and yet I can also see your face while we're recording, and you mean it. So we can talk about beets and cottage cheese and peach slices. Like I can walk you through that. But I want to hear also what listeners have. And so something tells me we're going to come up with some beach scenes and, being a kid. And so email me at tina@joyshouse.org regarding this topic or anything you want to know about Caregiver Crossing or things that we can do for you. And then, Terry, if you would be so kind to thank
Caregiver
our
Crossing,
sponsor
supported
today.
by our friends at Cardon and Associates, with 20 communities owned, operated, or managed in the Midwest, and more than 40 years of senior living experience. Cardon and Associates provides residents with the best senior living options and personalized service. We're so glad you joined us again today here on Caregiver Crossing. Until next time, take good care of one another, and thanks for listening.